Why do I make music that nobody listens to? I mean, it doesn't really make sense, right? You make music, you want people to hear what you're putting out. You want to get some sort of recognition for your thought process, for what you're writing, for what you're not writing, even for what you're just putting into a sort of freestyle and a freedom of mind sort of thing. You want to get that recognition, yet I don't. Like, I don't want it. I make music for maybe my friends, but more often than not, I make music for myself. I use SoundCloud. You know, my profile isn't my name. It's not my real name. It's a different name. I use a pseudonym of a different name, and it's not like some crazy name. It's just another name that you would hear in everyday life. And the reason I do that is because, you know, when you look at the history of rap, the history of hip hop, it's from a place of uncertainty. It's amazing individuals coming up from a place of struggle, or not even a place of struggle, just a place where they didn't want to be, because ultimately rapping is about winning. You know, you want to be the top dog in your own category. You want to be the best in some way, shape, or form. So it doesn't matter. You don't even have to come up from a struggle. You have to come up from a mentality of wanting to be the best in some sort of place where people congregate. What are my influences? I don't have influences. I have people who make music, and I look at those people who make music and I'm like, wow, like that's kind of what I would love to sound like. When you hear somebody who makes music that you like, you kind of want to be like them. You kind of want to make that same sound, because you're like, well, if this person is making it, I'm liking it. Why can't I sort of try to emulate it in some way? I don't have any vinyls. This is the only vinyl I have. It was a gift from a great friend of mine. As you can see, it's the Mac DeMarco Button album, straight from the concert. That's fine. Like, yeah, I don't know the name of the album from the top of my head. I don't know. I don't follow artists. I don't take an artist and sort of see, oh man, I like this one song by the artist, I'm gonna listen to every other song. No, that's not it. I hear an artist and I hear a song from him, and I say I respect that song. You have to separate an artist from the songs or the art that they make. Why do people not listen to my music? First of all, I don't advertise my music. I don't put it out on a pedestal. I don't have social media, so I don't let anybody know. In fact, this is the only thing I have, is this YouTube channel, really, and my SoundCloud account. That's the two things I have. I don't want to advertise myself, and that's a whole separate, different story. That's a whole separate story of sort of dividing the virtual world from the real world, because there's a digital world, there's a world that you live in that's not necessarily real. I mean, it is real to the standard of being real in the 21st century. It's real, it's there. There's real people on it, but is that really real? I mean, you know what I mean? Life is real. Like, this is real, what I'm doing right now. Not really though, because now that I think about it, I'm just talking to myself in the form of, a camera. So maybe it's not that real. Maybe this is not real to you. You're just watching me through a screen. You may know me, you may not know me. This may get randomly recommended to you. It probably won't get any views, but this is just my point that I'm trying to make. This is like what's driving me crazy, because what drives me crazy every day is this inability for me to get out of this. It's not even like a strut or anything, or a bad spot. I'm not in a bad spot at all. I wouldn't say that. I would say, though, that I'm in a spot where I can't formulate what I want to do. I don't know. I don't really know. Like, I don't really obviously want to live a life where I'm making money, but I'm really upset in my life when I'm doing something that I don't care about, when I'm working somewhere that I that doesn't matter to me. Like, I want to have a passion in life. I want to live my life. There's one life left. But then again, you have to have securities in that life. You have to have the security of living, and I have a constant pressure on me from, I come from an immigrant family, coming here from a communist regime. I mean, that's big stuff for me, just to hear their stories and what they went through as a minority group at that time in where they're from, which is well, I'm not gonna say. I don't want to give away any personal details, but so the bottom line is, I make music for whoever wants to hear my music. Most of all, I make it for myself. I like to write music. It's a stress relief. I work every day. Even when I'm not working every day, I have stress. Normal humans, they have stress in their lives. Like, that's just how it is. You wake up, you have stress. I don't know. Maybe there's some solution to it. I'm not aware of the solution. I've done everything in the book basically, but I still have this stress, this pressure on me that sits on my shoulder at all times, and that's fine. And I deal with it every day, and that's fine. But say I sent the song to someone and then they don't respond, they don't listen. It doesn't matter to me. Like, it's not for them. It's for me. I'm just testing the waters a little bit, I guess I could say that. Like the biggest thing for me is, when one of my songs has like 14 views or something, and somebody personally texts me and they're like, I like this song, like this is something different from what you were doing before, you're on a good path here, like this is what I like that, because it's obviously hearing some kind of positive reinforcement for something that you do is obviously going to be amazing no matter what. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh man, screw these people who were, reaching out to me and telling me stuff about my music, telling me their personal thoughts about my music. I'm not going to ever say that. But here's the ultimate answer to the question. Why do I make music that nobody listens to? Because who cares? Who cares? I'm just one person in this world. My life does not matter in anybody's else's life. That's my mindset. That's the mindset I come from. A lot of artists have the mindset that are like, I kind of want to be part of someone's life. I want to influence people. Maybe they don't think that directly, but once it starts happening, they're like, I really like this. I really like influencing people. That's what I do. That's what it seems to me that my platform is allowing me to do. So, I like it from that point on. That's a big reason why, people do stuff. People make art. Artists make art. Even though celebrities, I listen to a lot of artists. I listen to a little Tyler the Creator. I listen to Doo-Wop Kane. I listen to Chief Keef. I listen to a little Mac. I listen to a little bit of Coach Heist, Lil B the Bass God a little bit. I used to listen to Ugly God. Like, just these artists, whatever. Like, just if you think about these artists, like, yeah, they're in your life, but do you really think, first of all, that they're a major part of your life? Like, yeah, I listen to them. That's music, but I don't really think of them as the people. They're artists. They're what create my entertainment. They're not people in my life. They're just entertainment for me. That's the way I see. That's the way I would see myself in other people's life. I wouldn't see me as being some kind of influence in people's life. I just would see myself as the entertainment aspect of their life. That's what's important. And in the end, does it really matter? Because I'm not really that person to be so influential. I'm really not. I mean, I have so much. I don't know the gigabytes and megabytes of the data, but I have so much music. I've made so much music in the past 5 years, maybe 6 years. Nah, I'd say 5 years probably. In the last 5 years, there were months where I would produce one song a day, and I would just get my headphones, get on GarageBand, put in a random beat, or make one of my own beats, and just literally freestyle and put it up on the site. It's not about the quality of the art for me. It's not about the quality at all. That's why things aren't happening for me. I mean, obviously, I don't want things to happen to me. I don't want to go anywhere with this, but the reason things don't happen is because, you got to put in the effort. If you're not putting in the effort, nothing's going to happen. And you got to be okay with that. If you really want to do stuff for fun, like a hobby, you got to be okay with it being treated the way you treat it. Because the way I treat my music is I put it out, and I'm not necessarily trying to get views or clicks or listens on it. I'm just putting it out there. People have a different mindset. Some people put out their music. They're saying, I want everybody to listen to this. I want this to be big stuff in the community. I want people to hear, but that's not me. I'm an insignificant part of your life, whether you like to admit it or not. I'm doing my own thing, and I'm living in my own narrative, just like you are. In the end, it's all about you. You're not gonna worry about, people don't have that empathy. Like, if I'm struggling, like, yeah, you'll sympathize maybe, but you won't have that empathy. You won't go out of your way to help. That's fine. Like, that's just the way that's just the people around me that I've seen over the past, however many years. But, the way I feel like it holds valor to me. So I hope that you listened, and I hope you, and then again, if you didn't, I understand. I understand completely when people don't listen to these long videos. Why do you need to see whatever? I don't know how long this video is going to be. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe like few minutes, like 10 minutes or something, 11 minutes, like however long this, like even 10 minutes, whatever, even if it's less, like 5 minutes, 4 minutes, like why do you need to see 5 or 4 minutes of me? What benefit does that pose to you? I'm just a person. I'm not necessarily influencing anybody. So why do you need to watch me? So I completely understand where you're coming from, My music that I make, it's not me. It's not me. So, you're not even listening to me when you listen to that. It's somebody else, I talk about, Glocks and whatever, like killing people. Like, I don't like, I don't do that. Like, that's not me. Whatever. I'm just average Joe dude. Like, and I'm not with any of this stuff. Like, I can't. Like, I don't know. That's just not in me. I'm a good person. I don't choose to hurt anybody. I don't. That's not me. Like, I that's just what I rap about. That's just all that pent up stuff in me. There's nothing pent up necessarily, but it's just stuff I say, and it doesn't mean anything in the scope of anything, because it just doesn't mean anything. Like, you got to separate me from that. You even got to separate person from artist. Okay, I'm a person in real life. My artist self of me is different, and a lot of artists are like that. Like, whatever, JoJo and even Tyler and, like, ASAP Rocky. Like, ASAP Rocky is a very highly intellectual human being. Like, when you listen to what he talks about, like, I watched this one Oxford interview with him. I mean, he's just a definition of class. Like, he's great. I mean, his rap music is tough, it's hard, it's gritty. When you come to listen to him in person, he's wise beyond his years. Like, he is just such an admirable human being. Like, I appreciate him a lot. I appreciate people like him in this life. That's all I got to say for the while, but thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you learned something. If you didn't, like, I can't believe, honestly, if you're watching this part, like, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate that a lot. Like, I say all the time I have no friends, but I do have friends. I have friends 100%. Like, I have people out there. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to be happy about what I have. So, that's my whole thing. So, thank you.